Do you think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Prey to predator. That's double.
Howdy there, Murdoch here, and we're back in this video with a look, review, and test of the Scuf Gaming Elite Controller Precision Kit for your Xbox One Elite controller. Being perfectly transparent here, the whole reason why I got this kit was because I'm a sucker for customization, and I like to be a special snowflake, which is why I got this set to really contrast the controller itself. I didn't really think it'd give me much of a competitive advantage, if any at all, and we're going to do some anecdotal tests to see how I do, with the swapped out sticks and stuff, but I wanted the short domed, and this was kind of the only option that I really saw. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on my review station, which I normally use for toys and stuff like that. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look to see how they look and how they stack up compared to the accessories that comes with the Elite controller itself. And then we're going to play some games, and we're going to see how our scores, our precision, either increases or decreases depending on what setup I'm using. I do play a fair amount of Halo. I think the whole intention behind this set really is for first-person shooters and stuff like that. If you're familiar with Scuf Gaming, they're very closely associated with competitive gaming. Pro gaming, as it were. Not that I'm anywhere near that level. And this is probably a good time to mention I'm a fairly mid-level player in Halo 5. It's a little bit of a crapshoot, and it's going to be kind of anecdotal, so we're just going to take it with a grain of salt and just have some fun with this. Let's go check out the pieces, though. So here we have the Scuf Gaming Elite Precision Thumbstick and Grip Set. Play like the pros, over 90% use Scuf. Whatever. Another play like the pros. It just tells you, basically what it includes and some other, whatever else. But mostly just tells you what it includes, which are the two grips and the various size thumbsticks. You also see the other colors they have in this kit, which is blue, green, red, black, and white. I wanted the white because it stands out the most, and they didn't have yellow, which is my signature color. So hence, that's why I got the white. So let's crack it open here. This is probably the hardware you need for switching out the grips. So yeah, pretty much as you'd expect. Here's the tray, nicely packaged. Just one grip? Is there another grip in here? Yep, okay, the other grip for some reason is just in there. It's a little bit strange. The grips do feel very grippy, I'll give them that. You get all the various sticks here of all the various sizes. So really quickly here, we're going to give you a side-by-side comparison of the Scuf sticks themselves. We have the short concave next to the short domed, the medium concave next to the medium domed, and the tall concave next to the tall domed. Just so you know, the way it works on these is they didn't give you full sets of each type, they gave you one of each. So you get one of each type of short, one of each type of medium, and one of each type of tall, just like that. It's also worth noting that the sizes aren't exactly the same. Overall, the Scuf sticks cover a shorter or shallower range of sizes compared to the Xbox ones. What I mean here is that the shortest Xbox stick, which is essentially their default size, is shorter than the shortest Scuf, but the tallest Xbox stick is notably taller than the tallest Scuf stick. It does appear that the tallest domed one from Scuf is about the same height as the medium stick from the Elite set. If that information helps you, great. If not, whatever. But truly, I was really only interested in this. This is currently what I run on my controller. They're very similar because this is just the default stick with the cover on it. But just like your normal Elite kit, they all are just going to plug in exactly the same. And there you go. Obviously, these magnets have always worked well. It's never been a complaint with the Elite. These never come off while playing. It seems like they should, but they just don't. But this is not a review on the Elite controller. I'm just kind of testing this out, the removal of the grip. You essentially just pry it up. They ask you to insert the tool there, and you kind of just have to pry and lift, I suppose. To be honest with you, I ended up kind of just muscling it a little bit. This felt flimsy enough where it didn't seem to be doing the action prescribed. I'm going to put that on user error or user incompetence. I'm not necessarily going to blame Scuf for that. The kit not only comes with this, comes with two pieces of tape. I guess they want you to affix there, because that's where it was on the Elite equivalently. So we're just going to put it down there, the same place that Microsoft had it. This paper, I think, is supposed to peel away. Yeah, so this peels away. That's the sticky portion there. Make sure you have the right grip. But yeah, so, and then, oh, it clips in really easily. Don't try this at home. So I'm just ripping it off. That's obviously not the intended way to do it. I wouldn't recommend doing just the prine like I did. I mean, they include the tool for a reason. It just, I don't know, I was having a hard time with it, but they do pry out fairly easily. But, you know, once again, do that at your own risk. That looks pretty sharp. There's actually slight indentations in the grip, somewhat form-fitting around my hand. For the normal Xbox grip, there's no indentation there for your hand, for your grip. Nothing that I thought I needed, but it ends up being really comfortable. Let's go get some games in, see how we do. So I got a bunch of numbers here, and I played all the games I intended to play, and I got some data, and I actually recorded this segment yesterday, but it ended up being this 18-minute monster that I would have to like cut down a ton to even make worth watching, or at least make bearable. So as far as the way I went about this, I would literally have to play hundreds, if not even thousands of games to really come up with like a true rule or tendency, and clearly I wasn't really going to be able to do that. But what I did do is I played 20 games in total with 4 different setups for the sticks and, you know, grips and all that. So those setups were the default stick arrangement, you know, as the Elite controller comes. My previous setup, which has a default left stick with a default short right with a little cover on it. So after those games, I switched over to the Scuf setup with the short concave left stick with the short domed right with the Scuf grips. My final set of games were with the default left stick and the Scuf domed right with the grips. The results were more or less what I expected in terms of my overall performance. It's pretty much a wash. There's only a 2% spread between my worst score and my best score. 2%'s pretty negligible, especially when you account for all the variables I can't account for. But my best arrangement was actually the pure default, where I shot a total of 54% with the precision weapons. And my worst was actually my previous setup, where I shot 52% with precision weapons. I did walk away with a factoid that is in fact in favor of the Scuf in terms of performance. My highest percentage games in terms of accuracy with a specific weapon was actually delivered on the Scuf stick with both of the Scuf setups. My overall highest was a 69%, and that was with a Magnum. So 69% is pretty solid in general and great for me. I shot that weapon a lot. I actually had 5 kills in that game with the Magnum. So my highest accuracy was actually delivered with the Scuf. Even though in the end it all averaged out to be about the same, my peaks were still greater with the Scuf. And I do think it's a little bit interesting, and it's something to think on. In terms of the aesthetic, I do like the look that the Scuf setup actually brings to the controller. It's not a lot, but for me, someone who likes customization, I think it's pretty cool. I really like the grips in the end. I really do like sort of how it does contour to my fingers, so that was cool. My slight criticism of the Scuf sticks themselves was found when I was playing with the default style concave short stick on the left. The pad on top is somewhat sharp. For me, it ended up being distracting, and it felt uncomfortable. It felt like it was cutting into my thumb just a little bit. Do I recommend it? I recommend it as an aesthetic choice. But so you're looking at, you know, $30 for the package itself plus shipping, so the average is to be what, $35, $37 after shipping. I don't think it's overpriced if you compare it to similar types of kits from Microsoft themselves. So I think it's a cool set. I like it. I'm happy with my purchase. I'm glad I got it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Well, if you're still with me, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you got some good information out of it, and maybe you can make a slightly more informed purchase based on the information here. But if you did like it, go ahead and hit that button. If you'd like to see more Halo-related stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm really doing more in the way of Halo merchandise, the toys, the loot crates, and stuff like that. But go ahead and hit that button, as it always makes me feel like I accomplished something. But otherwise, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye!